What's good, y'all? Welcome back, man. In today's video, we got some untold stories of celebrities at P. Diddy's parties. Clive Davis, Mariah Carey, J-Lo, stuff like that, man. And we're gonna go straight into it. I'm not sure how factual these are, but we're gonna watch it anyway. If y'all new, like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna roll to 1K subs. Show the kid some love and support, and just sub up, man. Show the kid that you rocking with me, you know what I'm saying? But let's get straight into the video.
All lies will be exposed. That's all.
If you win, you get a night out with Diddy.
I had no idea what kind of wild ride I was getting into.
Saturday night in New York, and I promise you, your ass will wake up Wednesday laying beside me. Come on.
That's wild.
Can see in your room.
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow.
Check this out. You clear on that. You understand now. I'm asking myself why do I have you here?
I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
And you may not be here then. And anybody want to go with you, they could go too.
Hey, stop screaming. Hey, it's just me, P. Diddy. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We're going out on like a date, a straight guy date.
He definitely did some shit with that dude. For a fact. I know that for a fact.
Y'all call me Diddy. Call me Diddy. Okay. But when I'm being loved and I'm in that mood, because I have to always remind myself we live in a toxic world.
Now you don't like me? You get to it. If you don't like me, you in front, get to it, bitch.
And it's love versus hate. That's what's going on right now. Yeah. And I choose love.
You want to have love? It's what up, what's up? Fucking come over here, I'll bust your. Nah, hey, keep it. Hey, so you don't never talk to me.
That's my new name, and love wins. Love wins. Let's go.
30 minutes for the devil get there. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, there you go.
That's what Denzel told me. Leave 30 minutes for the devil get there.
You can call me Love.
Yeah, that's crazy. Love. The Diddler. I'm just curious on when the Netflix special is gonna come out on Diddy, man. The one that 50 Cent sold to supposedly Netflix. I'm curious on what that's gonna say and what is gonna be on it, man. It's gonna be interesting.
I don't know if this is just made up myth or if this is true, but I'm told that when you go to a hotel, anytime you go to a hotel, you don't just check in the way everybody else does. You send.
Hold on, run that back for a second.
I don't know if this is just made up.
Diddy Combs has denied all claims and pleads not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
Myth or if this is true, but I'm told that when you go to a hotel, anytime you go to a hotel, you don't just check in the way everybody else does. You send someone ahead to prepare the hotel room for you.
As this writing, aside from Cassie Ventura, Sean Diddy Combs has neither apologized nor admitted guilt to the numerous plaintiffs who have sued him for various allegations, including but not limited to sexual assault, domestic violence, and sexual misconduct. I understand, because if Diddy did say he apologized, that's basically saying that he's guilty, you know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't make sense for him to even say anything like that.
It's called preparing the sexy.
Preparing the sexy.
Yeah.
What's preparing the sexy?
I mean, when I walk in, I definitely take pride in being the originator of the preparation of the sexy.
Yes.
Yes, and that's candles. I like candles. I like tuberose. I'm into baths, so I like my bath at the right temperature. It's just little things that I personally like. I like my room to be sexy.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, the Kardashians, Kanye West, Paris Hilton, Russell Simmons were just a few names who were on the guest list of numerous Diddy parties. But who was on the freak-off guest list?
Facts.
Who remained silent for years and knew what was actually going on behind the scenes after the party ended? And speaking of behind the scenes, it's the middle of a lavish star-studded dinner in West Hollywood. The kind of exclusive event where the air smells like power and privilege. And the guest list is packed with names that command respect in every room they walk into. But behind the glittering smiles and clinking glasses, something far more disturbing is unfolding. Sean Diddy Combs, the man behind Bad Boy Records, the mogul who built an empire from nothing, suddenly swings his fist. His target? Cassie Ventura, his then girlfriend who doubles over in pain.
Bro, that video, that is just, you can never, that shit never gets, like, you always feel shocked to see how he did that to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can watch the shit 100 times and be like, that's crazy, he did that. Like, it's wild, man. And to think that he's not guilty of doing these things while watching this video with Cassie is just, it's
as the punch lands squarely in her stomach. Around them, silence.
Facts.
Neo and Usher continue to chat. Jimmy Levine barely even blinks. The dinner continues. Power, as always, shields the powerful. We hear stories like this and wonder how a man who once represented the very definition of success could become a figure entangled in allegations of abuse, manipulation, and violence.
When I die, I want my last words to be, I did it.
In the world of psychology, there's a well-documented theory that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. The allure of control is seductive, and once someone tastes it, they're often unwilling to let it go. Power doesn't just change what a person can do. It changes how they see the world and themselves within it. Those at the top often begin to feel invincible, their actions justified by the very systems that support them. They're not inherently evil, they're made that way by a combination of success, unchecked influence, and a surrounding environment that rewards their worst behaviors. Sean Diddy Combs wasn't born into this world as a villain. He was shaped by it.
Because I'm public enemy number one.
As a young man who navigated the cutthroat music industry, learning quickly that kindness didn't build empires. He built his career on hustling.
I am the fucking hardest hustler in the world!
On being 2 steps ahead of the game, and on ruthlessly seizing opportunities. But somewhere along the way, that hunger for success turned into something darker. As we discussed in previous episodes of Surviving Diddy on how his erratic behavior came about from his dad being fatally shot when he was just 3 and a drug deal gone wrong, to his mom being an escort that had sex with clients in front of him, and finally, Diddy throwing wild college parties at an early age at Howard University, there is one more significant person that has contributed to him and to the person he has become. And that is Clive Davis.
Mr. Davis, you're a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid?
You know, we shared conventions and conferences and...
About Diddy, he credits you as one of his mentors.
He was a hungry young executive, eager to prove himself in the brutal music industry. And every prodigy needs a mentor, someone to guide them, mold them, and, whether consciously or not, groom them. For Diddy, that mentor was Clive Davis, the music industry titan who had already shaped the careers of legends like Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin. Davis, known for his sharp eye for talent and his unmatched understanding of the industry's power dynamics, saw potential in Combs. But what Davis imparted to Combs wasn't just about crafting hit records. It was about how to wield power in an industry where success is often built on control, manipulation, and outmaneuvering your competitors. To the young Combs, Davis wasn't just a mentor. He was a puppet master, carefully pulling the strings and showing him the rules of the game. And like any eager apprentice, Combs absorbed everything. Davis taught him how to survive and thrive in a cutthroat business that rewarded aggression and dominance. The relationship between Davis and Combs exemplifies a well-documented psychological dynamic in high-pressure industries, the mentor-apprentice power hierarchy. In this dynamic, the mentor is not only a guide, but a figure who often shapes the moral and ethical boundaries, or lack thereof, of their prodigy. In a sense, Combs' early grooming under Davis was a process of socialization into a world where the lines between right and wrong were blurred. Research in psychology shows that when individuals are mentored by powerful figures, they are often taught not only how to succeed, but also how to use others to maintain that success. This dynamic creates a kind of moral distortion where the apprentice becomes increasingly comfortable with bending or breaking rules to achieve their goals. Combs learned early that success in the music industry wasn't just about talent, it was about power. How to gain it, how to hold it, and how to use it to shape the world around you. The monster that Diddy would later become wasn't born in the streets of Harlem. It was carefully crafted in the boardrooms of record labels under the watchful eyes of men like Clive Davis. And while Davis may have given Combs the tools to build an empire, he also, knowingly or unknowingly, contributed to the creation of a man who would eventually use those tools for far darker purposes. By the time Diddy launched Bad Boy Entertainment in 1993, he had already internalized the lessons of power and control from his mentor. He was no longer just a talented young executive. He was a man on a mission, driven by a relentless hunger for success. Bad Boy was his kingdom, and Diddy was his king. But beneath the glitz, glamour, and platinum records, something more insidious was happening. The man who once hustled his way to the top was now becoming the very kind of puppet master who had once admired. But this time, the strings he pulled weren't just for the sake of success. They were for control, domination, and eventually, destruction. In October 2007, Sean Diddy Combs made what would become one of the most pivotal moves in his career. The groundbreaking partnership with Diageo, the global liquor giant. In this deal, Combs was not just an ambassador, but a partner in the marketing and development of Ciroc vodka. It wasn't merely about pushing a product, it was about crafting an image. Diddy didn't just promote Ciroc, he became Ciroc. Under his influence, the brand skyrocketed from an obscure, struggling vodka label to a symbol of luxury, success, and high living. Sales soared, and Diddy earned the nickname the Ciroc King, a title that carried with it more than just financial success. It cemented his place as an untouchable figure in both the music and business worlds. But with this partnership came something more dangerous than financial gain. It fueled Combs' already growing sense of invincibility. The allure of being not just a media mogul, but a business tycoon, played into the intoxicating effect that fame and wealth can have on an individual. For Combs, the Ciroc deal was more than just a business venture. It was an emblem of power, and he began to believe in his own myth. The more successful he became, the more untouchable he felt. Psychologically, this taps into the phenomenon of addiction, though not necessarily to substances like alcohol or drugs, but to power, status, and attention.
It's crazy because you could never be more powerful than karma. You can never be more powerful than the man above. It's just like, if you're doing shit that's wrong, it's definitely going to come back tenfolds. It's going to come back tenfolds, man. And karma is real, man. Karma is horrible, man. I don't like karma. I don't think nobody likes karma. But it's just like, if you do something wrong, expect it to come back, man. And Diddy thought he just one of those people that it would never come back and bite him. And whoever dropped that video with him with Cassie, bro, that shit was like the tip of the iceberg, man. That shit just started that snowball effect, and look where he's at now. It's crazy.
Research in psychology has drawn parallels between substance addiction and the addiction to fame and control. The more one consumes, the more they need to maintain that high, and in Diddy's case, the high came from not just his financial success, but from the social status that the Ciroc brand afforded him. Being the Ciroc King didn't just make him rich, it made him feel almighty. His identity became so entangled with the brand's success that losing control and any aspect of his life became an unthinkable prospect. While Diddy basked in the glow of his Ciroc-fueled success, darker forces seemed to be gathering on the horizon. In recent years, speculation has surfaced that Diageo may have had a hand in some of Diddy's legal troubles, particularly those related to his high-profile lawsuits against the company, in which he accused Diageo of racial discrimination. That theory suggests that Diddy's sharp rise to power within the company made him a target, not just of competitors, but of Diageo itself. In 2024, Diddy filed a $1 billion lawsuit against Diageo, claiming they were limiting the distribution of Ciroc and De Leon tequila in predominantly black neighborhoods, and that the company had subjected him to discriminatory treatment. Conspiracy theories often arise when the lines between business, power, and legality blur, and this situation is no exception. The theory stands that Diageo, unwilling to continue sharing the spotlight with Diddy or face accusations of racism, may have used its corporate clout to entangle him in legal issues, hoping to weaken his public image and, by extension, his grip on the Ciroc empire. While there's no concrete evidence to support this theory, the culture of corporate influence in media and law isn't far-fetched. Large corporations, as history has shown, often have the power to manipulate public perception and control narratives behind the scenes. Could Diddy have been a victim of this kind of corporate manipulation? It's not outside the realm of possibility. Psychologically, this scenario reveals a fascinating conflict in powerful individuals like Combs, the struggle between seeing oneself as a victim and a villain. But this struggle between victimhood and villainy is where the cracks in Diddy's empire begin to show. The more power he amassed, the more paranoid and disconnected from reality he became.
You know, there's a quote that my dad normally says, right? I'm not sure where he got this quote from, but he always tells me, the devil cannot make hell look good or look like a place that you want to go to, right? So he makes roads that look good so he could take you to hell. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, I feel like Diddy was one of those prime examples, and whoever else, you know, he look at the lavish life of his mentor Clive Davis, and he just like, damn, how the hell he get there? And he's seen what different routes that he took, you know, and he's like, okay, this look cool, I'm gonna take these same exact routes, and then you end up literally like in some shit. You're just like, damn, it's too late now, and you just gotta continue what you're doing. So just like that, I just wanted to tell you guys that, man.
It's a tale as old as time. The king, once revered, begins to see enemies everywhere, and in his paranoia, he begins to destroy the very foundation upon which his empire was built. This conspiracy theory, whether rooted in fact or fiction, speaks to a larger truth about the intoxicating nature of power. When individuals like Diddy reach the heights of success, they are often surrounded by psychopaths and enablers who allow them to believe they are untouchable. But as history has shown, the higher one climbs, the further they have to fall.
Yep.
And in Diddy's case, the very forces that once propelled him to the top may have been conspiring to pull him back down. In August 2006.
One thing I learned about this human nature, this people, you know what I'm saying? There's certain people who would like to see you do good, but once they see you actually progressing and getting close to surpassing them or even surpassing them, they don't enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Now they feel like, damn, I put him on, or I basically put him under the wing, and now he feels like he can't be messed with, or he's beyond of he's basically past our level, where you would think that he will stay below them for forever or for a very long time. And I guess Diddy was just like, he had that personality where he was just like, you know what, man, I could do this shit without him, you know. And Ciroc's, I forgot the company name, was like, listen, bro, I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen, man. And look at him now, you know, he's fighting multiple cases and a lot of money's being spent, I know for a fact, in the court and lawyers and just investigators, mad stuff, man.
Danity Kane's self-titled debut album, released under Combs Bad Boy Records and Atlantic Records, skyrocketed to success, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200. For many, this marked the height of Diddy's creative vision, where his ability to sculpt talent became undeniable. However, beneath this facade, Dawn Richard would later reveal the cracks in this supposed triumph. Her lawsuit, filed years later, painted a vastly different picture, where the album's success was overshadowed by unpaid labor and broken promises.
That's some little teenage boy control. He used to control and everything. He used to rejection. I believe her.
Richard estimated her damages to be around $1 million. Money she claimed she never received for her work on the very project that put Bad Boys Girl Group at the top of the charts. The success of Danity Kane wasn't just built on musical talent. It was constructed on exploitation, with Combs at the center, pulling strings behind the scenes. While Diddy's success with Danity Kane made headlines, another story unfolded quietly in the shadows that same month. According to an October 2024 lawsuit, Combs hosted one of his infamous Hamptons white parties. But this particular party ended in something far darker. A male bodyguard, working under the pretense of security, alleges that Combs drugged and assaulted him during the event. After being given a drink, the bodyguard, later referred to as John Doe in legal documents, immediately felt disoriented and ill. What followed was a nightmare. Combs allegedly forced him into a van and sexually assaulted him. This incident marks a pivotal shift in the narrative surrounding Combs. The luxurious setting of the Hamptons party juxtaposes the horror of the alleged assault, demonstrating how unchecked power and privilege can mask monstrous behaviors. Psychologically, the act of violating someone's autonomy in such a calculated manner points to deeper issues of control, dominance, and sadistic tendencies, traits often buried beneath a carefully cultivated public persona. By 2007, Diddy's public persona was still largely intact, but incidents like the assault at Teddy's nightclub began chipping away at the surface. Gerard Richnitzer, a victim of Diddy's explosive temper, filed a lawsuit after an altercation outside Teddy's nightclub at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. According to Richnitzer, Combs not only punched him, but also pushed his girlfriend and attempted to spit on another woman. Combs' legal team was quick to respond, labeling the accusations as fabricated attempts to exploit his celebrity status. The case was settled out of court a year later, leaving many to wonder if Richnitzer's claims held more truth than fiction. The psychological insight here points to Diddy's growing sense of impunity. As his fame and wealth soared, so did his belief that he was untouchable, able to rewrite reality to suit his needs. By May 2007, the facade began to crack further. Lori Ann Gibson, a choreographer and co-star in Making the Band, filed a complaint against Combs, alleging that he threatened her with a chair while New Edition's Michael Bivins held her in place. This incident, which allegedly took place during the production of their reality show, shows how Diddy's public persona as a charismatic mogul often masks volatile, even violent behavior.
Word.
So did you miss me when you was away from me? Huh? Did you miss me? Huh?
You?
Did you miss me?
She said,
Honestly?
Yeah. You didn't miss me? Huh?
No.
You didn't miss me?
No.
You missed me a little bit.
No, I did not.
Did you miss me?
Yo, he mad creepy.
Sometimes.
Check this out. We missed you.
Combs' attorney dismissed the claims as theatrics performed for the cameras, further deflecting attention from the growing pattern of abuse allegations. This moment serves as a microcosm of how the entertainment industry's power structures can become breeding grounds for abuse. When public personas and private actions clash, it's often those at the lower rungs of the hierarchy who suffer the most.
Word.
By May 2008, the allegations against Combs escalated in both severity and explicitness. According to an October 2024 lawsuit, Combs assaulted a John Doe sales associate in the back room of Macy's Herald Square flagship store. The victim, who worked for a rival clothing brand, Echo, described a violent encounter where Combs struck him in the head, causing him to collapse onto his hands and knees. What followed was a chilling act of oral rape, a clear exercise in both sexual and psychological dominance. The lawsuit describes Combs as flanked by bodyguards, a scene that amplifies the sense of calculated brutality. After the assault, Combs reportedly left the back room as if nothing had happened, handing out merchandise to the adoring crowd on the retail floor. The seamless shift from violence to public adulation illustrates the duality of Combs' persona: publicly charming, privately monstrous. From a psychological perspective, this incident underscores the role of narcissistic entitlement and sexual aggression in those who believe they are untouchable. The public, enamored by his fame, remains oblivious to the depths of his cruelty, feeding into his belief that he is above consequence. In 2008, Danity Kane disbanded, leaving Richard in a precarious position within Bad Boy Records. Despite the group's dissolution, Richard continued working with Combs, now as part of a trio with Kalina Harper in a group called Dirty Money. But with this new venture came heightened control and abuse from Combs. Richard's lawsuit details numerous incidents of sexual harassment and abuse during this period. Combs allegedly barged into her dressing room unannounced, groped her during fittings, and even ordered her to strip during rehearsals. These actions were not just invasions of privacy, but demonstrations of control, an assertion of power over Richard's autonomy and dignity. When Richard resisted, Combs retaliated by denying her singing parts in their songs, manipulating her career as punishment for her defiance. Psychologically, this paints a picture of an
I really feel bad for those who encounter Diddy and those who, you know, have faith in him, like marketing them and making their career a lot bigger, and then realize it was the worst decision they ever signed. They basically signed with the devil. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, damn, it sucks, you know, because you think that, damn, like, he makes you feel like you're gonna be at the top of the world, and then next thing you know, it is like your career is over before you even blink of an eye, you know. But we're gonna stop right here, man. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. On me dropping a lot of videos of Diddy, man, and show some love. We're on the road to 1K subs, and you know, yeah, stay blessed. It's your boy Breezy.